Hi guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below, and we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by nothing but Thieves, and that's Amsterdam, so I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, it's been a frenetic start to this month with huge releases dropping all at once, leaving me in a somewhat reflective mood is the best way of putting it. Subconsciously, you do tend to try and compare each track to one another, but the releases have been so diverse and in so many different genres as well by such unexpected individuals that you can't really make these comparisons, so it's in a bit of a limbo period at the moment. However, we have got this brand new track by a group which I've never followed too closely but have been interested about for a long time, so should we see what I thought of it? Well, I actually thought it was an excellent track, and I'm actually so glad to finally hear another good rock song. It's been over a month since the last one, hence making this track feel more like a revelation if anything else. Not only is the vocal performance outstanding in this track, not only are the lyrics simplistic yet memorable on this track, not only are the transitions big and bolstered as well on this track, but the song also has some darn diversity to it, where we have these lighter, clean sections juxtaposed next to these very rough and dirty moments, and in my opinion it works ever so well. In the past I've never really managed to get into Nothing But Thieves due to me not really connecting with a lot of their material, as well as finding some of their tracks a little bit safe, I guess. But on the other hand, I thought this track was a really ballsy move and it worked really well for them, and it's by far my favourite by the group and what they've released thus far in their careers. When it comes to the production of this track, I thought it was actually pulled off really well. The drums, though firmly placed in the background, which I'm not always a fan of, but it worked well here, are thunderous, and each part of the kit drives its retrospective area in the mix. The kick has depth and edge to it, giving the low ground some raw impact, which is what I always like. The snare cuts through the mix really nicely, adding power into the offbeat in particular, and the cymbals glisten really nicely in the high ground, so it's just about the perfect mix for a kit in my opinion. The guitar tones are also fantastic, since we have these clean tones sounding gentle and treble heavy, which I'm not usually a fan of, but it works really well here, and the distorted tones sounding forceful and dirty. The bass has a little edge to it, but not too much, and it's not the most noticeable part of the mix, and sure, it can be improved, but it's functional enough to work in this mix, and I guess it did allow for other areas to take more prominence. The vocals also grab onto the foreground really well, maintaining that sort of organic power the singer already has without all this post-production tampering we often hear in the rock genre nowadays. So all in all, it's a really great production cycle. Musicality wise, the track is very varied and exploratory, and yet still keeps that explosiveness you need to carry a rock track like this. Everything from the gentle and clean introduction to the hard hitting, distorted chorus, especially on that guitar, works really well, and it actually flowed seamlessly despite all this sort of sectional variation. The best part of the track for me, though, has to be the vocal performance, as there are some impressive notes pulled off in this track, and each piece of note dramatization came across as either satisfying or sincere, exactly what you want to hear from your vocalist. Melodically, the track works really well too, and it's not too conjunct that you hear things often repeated, the same 4-bar melodies, we don't get any of that, and it's not too disjunct because we get a recognizable hook and a long-lasting verse melody, so I found that very exciting. Also, the bridge did change things up a bit, which I can appreciate, just, you know, from a variational standpoint, but I think that it was the driest moment of the track, and it perhaps halted the song's overall momentum for a short amount of time, and I also thought the bass lines could be a little bit improved, as again, they were just functional on this track. Lyrically, the track isn't barnstorming or anything like that, but they do the job well and work well within the melody in which they were really vocalized or placed, whatever you want to call it. The Amsterdam theme didn't feel too shoehorned either, and every concept was really well fleshed out. So all in all, I had a really great time with this track, and I definitely recommend it, not only to fans of the group, but to casual listeners looking for another rock song to finally come along and actually be decent for once. So I gave it a G rating of 8 out of 10. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.